Hey group, so this lesson is all about blood. All right, so this is part 3. So right now you've already learned about the circulatory system and what it does and where it goes. And we know all about where the blood goes, but the question is, what is blood, right? So as far as we know, it's this red stuff that comes out of our body when you get a cut. But if you looked at it really closely, blood is actually kind of complex and it's made up of 4 different parts. So let's start there, okay? This is what it looks like, kind of, right? Cartoon version, but you get all these different parts of blood. It's not just this red liquid. So the 4 main parts that we have are called plasma. There's red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. So the entire point of this video is to tell you basically what each of those are, so you understand what's going on inside of your own blood. So the first thing to realize is that what our blood mostly is, it's actually mostly plasma, 55% plasma. Other 45%-ish is red blood cells, and only less than 1% are your white blood cells and platelets. So essentially, mostly plasma, and the other half, roughly, is your red blood cells. So let's talk about what plasma even is. So plasma is essentially it's the solution that all your blood is in. So if you think of it as it's the river, it's the water kind of, right? And what plasma really is it's kind of yellowy. It's actually a little bit sticky. So you ever think when you get blood, it feels a little bit sticky. So plasma, it's the yellow stuff that is essentially the river that is your blood. So sometimes you can actually separate it from the blood, and this is what it looks like when you have real plasma. So, and down here is all the red blood cells and everything. So this is what your plasma looks like. And its main job, essentially, is to carry around all the nutrients and waste. And I told you that, in your small intestine, it picks up the proteins and picks up the amino acids. Well, this is where it goes. It goes in the plasma river and is carried throughout your blood. So this is the whole point. And what it is, it's mostly just water. I said it's some other different proteins and stuff, but for the most part, it's just water. So if you think of it, 55% of your blood is plasma, and 90% of that is water. You're looking at roughly half of your blood is just plain old water. That's one of the reasons that water is so important to us. Why we have to drink it, because it makes up pretty much half our blood. Okay, the next major component, the major player in the game, is the red blood cells. Okay, kind of look like little rafts, and that always helps me because they're kind of like little rafts that take oxygen and they carry it to the rest of the body. That's their main job, is when they go to the lungs, grab the oxygen. There's a chemical, a protein in them called hemoglobin, which really helps the oxygen attach to. But for our purposes, its job is to take the oxygen to the rest of the body. That's what it does. Then you have your white blood cells. Okay, their job, they're like your body, they're your disease fighters. Okay, there's actually different types of white blood cells. It gets kind of complicated, but for now, this is like white blood cells attacking a foreign invader to your body. So that's pretty much what it does. Okay, some alert of your body when they're there, some fight it, and as I said, they have different purposes. But generally speaking, their job is to fight all the bad things that come into contact with your body. So the reason sometimes you see white blood cells, so if you think of like pimples, you know what pimples are, like whiteheads. So the reason that they're white is because a pimple is essentially like a clogged pore, right? And it kind of gets a little irritated or infected. So your body says something's going on, something's bad there. So it sends the white blood cells there to fix it. And then when it sends it all into one spot, then you get these whiteheads, these pimples, right? Because they are your white blood cells going to essentially fix an area. So that's where you will see your white blood cells in real life. And then the final component is your platelets. And they're actually like cell fragments. And their job is to clot the blood. So whenever you get a cut, you don't bleed forever, usually, okay, unless you have a certain type of disorder. But you will not bleed forever. It's because these platelets, they go there and they clot it, okay? And we're going to get technical. What they do is they all gather there, and there's this little fiber-like stuff, and they almost make a net, and it clogs where your cut is. So then the blood doesn't keep on going there forever. That's it. That's the 4 main components of blood. The plasma takes stuff and nutrients and carries it around throughout your body. Red blood cells specifically take the oxygen, little carbon dioxide, but mostly oxygen. White blood cells fight diseases, and your platelets clot your blood. And that's what's going on inside of your blood at a microscopic level. So hopefully you have a new appreciation for it. See you later.